Good afternoon. So my previous speaker has given me a chance to talk about future, which is what we are also going to tell you about what is the future and what are the challenges which you are going to face when we'll be talking about the growth which is there. And he also spoke about software part of the business. So my duty is again to bring you back into the hardware part of the business. So I just thought that I will take a clue from here and I will start my presentation. So what are we talking here? And since morning I was listening various presentation, and when we talk about it, the metro rail projects, which has been now sort of a say all across India, and when we talk about the numbers, and we just look into these numbers, that the current metro projects which are already constructed or under construction, and along with that, we are talking about Metro Light or Metro New projects together. We are talking about in another 10 years, we are talking about 120% of the growth which we are talking today. And similarly, we are talking about high-speed railway network, which is 508 kilometers as on today, will be going 14 times. Maybe perhaps it will be approximately 3,000 kilometers in another 10 years. And we talk about this type of growth, then obviously there are challenges which also comes along with that. And when we talk about the challenges, when I speak to my clients who are constructing metro, railway or RTS network and all, be it BML or Alstom, Bombardier or Siemens, Hitachi, which are my customers, and when I talk to them and I ask them that you see a lot of growth, you see a lot of potential in your business, we are very bullish about metro and we are very bullish about the new age of transportation system. What are the challenges which you are going to face? What are the things which you believe that we as your partner should come up with? And they said the same thing, that we are going to see a bottleneck in the supply chain and we are looking forward for some solutions which can help us in giving our client a faster and reliable deliveries. Ladies and gentlemen, current government initiative which are going on are towards three major initiatives. First one is energy. You might have seen a lot of talk going on about the renewable energy and other energy components which are there. The second one which we are talking today is Prime Minister Gati Shakti initiative, infra and logistic businesses which we are talking. And third one is creating an infrastructure and the job opportunities and a rural housing development projects. So these are the 3 or 4 major things which are happening as on today across India, and these are being driven by the current government. When we are talking about the current program of Gati Shakti and the infrastructure which is there and the metro railway which is there, so the challenges which are there is we are not getting a first time, the problem statement I would like to mention which has been given to us, that we are not getting first time right supply items, we are not getting on time supplies to cater the sudden demands. Dependency on imported parts like aluminum sidewall panels and electrical items it takes long lead items, and sometimes they do not get the right delivery right time. An increase in the raw material prices which affect the suppliers and also create a supply chain disturbances. So we believe that there are changes which we need to do is we have to create a quality supplier who has a less PPM defects which is there, and that requires a lot of R&D, and that can happen only when the user and the supplier remains together, work together to develop the new product together. We also talk about the spike in demand which will be there. That also need to be required basis the capacity assessment, and we have to start looking into the futuristic business what we are going to have. And of course, when we are talking about that aluminum items are not available, as I come from stainless steel industry, we know that stainless steel can be a very good alternative to the aluminum products which are being used wherever it can be used. And in case aluminum is necessary, then perhaps the aluminum extrusion process need to be manufactured and the capacity need to be extended. And the last but not the least, we face a lot of issues with respect to the suppliers because they have a fixed price contract, and we believe that a price variation clause with respect to the metal index is very much required if we have to look into the long-term projects in metro and RRTS segments. While coming back to the topic of Make in India concept, so what we have also faced over a period of time that most of the times the OEM parts are coming from outside of India are getting manufactured for Indian railways. I believe that we have to turn the table around. We have to start making in India to export outside of India as well, not only for supplying to the Indian railway projects, metro projects, and so on RRTS projects. So perhaps the more tie-ups are required with respect to the technologies, And that is where we are talking about, because we believe that Indian manufacturers can give a very, very cost effective solutions if the technology tie-ups are being given to them. And that is the forum where I am addressing all of you, that in case we believe that there are certain type of collaboration, certain type of long-term MOUs are required, Indian manufacturers should come ahead and start looking into how they can participate into it. And presently, there are a lot of non-standardization items which are being used. Sometimes there are, each of the metro suppliers are having a different standard or different specification which is there. So every time when you start doing a prototyping of this and then you start doing a manufacturing process, it creates a long lead items. So I believe there is a need of standardization of the major parts of the metro items, which will help suppliers to create a supply chain system for supplying to these metro segments, as well as it will also reduce cost for the future metro businesses, as well as the coach which will rolling stock manufactured. Having said that, I just would like to mention that we are one of the largest supplier of metro components. We supply battery box, air reservoirs, valves, grab poles, mountain beam, lifting beams. And I would like to tell you that few years ago these were being imported in India and we started manufacturing, and today we are supplying to most of the metro companies. And so forth, we are one of the largest stainless steel coach manufacturers for coach component suppliers for Indian Railway. We do almost everything which you can see there. Almost all components are being manufactured by us and then they are getting assembled in the coach factories. Now coming back to the second part of my presentation, when we talk about the Indian Railway on a mega transformation journey of world-class railway stations, the railway stations which are being proposed now in the future are basically on the 7C design concept of a station development, which talks about they should be in the city centers, convergence should be there, convenience should be there, communication, congestion free, conservation and cleanliness. So Honorable Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, when he mentioned about his futuristic plan about the railway stations, he mentioned that we are going to convert others stations, we are going to convert 1253 railway stations into the others station scheme. And if I put all these numbers together, I was just looking into it that how this will look like in when all these 1253 stations will be there. If we talk about that each of the station will have a food court, you can imagine there will be 1253 food courts in India. If you imagine that these railway stations, each of these railway stations will have at least 10 or 20 rooms hotel or 30 rooms hotel or 100 rooms hotel basis the location, you can understand we are talking about 12,000 hotel rooms capacity which will be developed in India, which will be one of the largest hotel room capacity in anywhere in the world. The maximum hotel chain which the hotel room which any hotel chain in India has 6,000. So we are talking about a massive growth. And when we talk about this growth, we have to look into what is the number which we are talking about. We are talking about 16 million passengers footfall, 70% in top 100 cities and 7% annual growth rate in the footfall. Use opportunities for the tail segment, use opportunities for the industrial segment, use opportunities for the consumer segment. But what as a futuristic generation, when we are talking about, and my previous speakers have also spoke about it, what we are going to create future for India. So we have to also look into that our structures are iconic structures, all railway station buildings should be good, they should enhance the passenger delight, and they should also be energy efficient. And we talk about when all these three products, then I believe that stainless steel is the best product available to supply all these things. It is a fire resistance, lightweight, hygienic, having aesthetic value, termite free, longevity, high pressure resistance, durable, corrosion protection, smooth stainless steel bore, low maintenance, eco-friendly, and above all, it gives you a life which is green because it's a completely recyclable. And if stainless steel is being used properly, it can be into many finishes, it can be of many types, it can be of many design, and it creates a very good aesthetic value, which will make us like we are in a new India. So that's where I believe that we should look into the stainless steel products. Again, coming back to our capabilities, we produce most of the stainless steel infrastructure requirement which is there, be it railing, cladding, facades, signage, benches, bollards which are required for infrastructure development. And last but not the least, we also manufacture sculptures. You might have seen some of the sculptures of stainless steel in Delhi and nearby areas, and very soon we are going to see some more structures as a part of the Central Vista project, where we are also partnering with the government of India and CPWD to provide the sculptures, and we believe that each one of the railway stations which we develop should have iconic structure which is there, which can resemble that this is, if you show pictures, people should immediately remember that this is Habibganj, or this is Rani Lakshmibai, or this is Valsad, or this is Surat. So this is what is my suggestion to the architects, designers, or planners of these railway stations. So this is what it is, and I just wanted to have one slide on my capabilities or my organization's capabilities of, we are one of the reliable, agile, and the strengthful organizations, having all sorts of support for stainless steel requirement, because we create an aspirational stainless steel culture. And that's all. We have 3 plants as on today with multiple machines, and we are here to contribute for India's growth, and we are looking forward to partner with those who are working for creating a Gati Shakti or infrastructure development for new India, new age India. Thank you very much.